Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, February 14, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tonight. Around 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a special guest, the inventor of the Inception self-powered power supply unit, because we want to get it in as many hands as possible out there to as many people as possible, because of the fact that that way we believe that they're not going to be able to stop us if we're able to get out as many as possible. So if you have any questions for him, I suggest that you write them down so you'll be able to ask him. If you have any technical questions, per se, some people have had some misunderstandings on how it works. An old 14th century North Indian mystic, Lala, made this quote: "Let them throw their curses. If inside, I am connected to what's true, my soul stays quiet and clear." Do you think God worries what people say? If a few ashes fall on a mirror, use them to polish it. No matter what happens to us in this life, remember this one sweet understanding: you are powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. Yes, all this is and more is available inside every one of us right now. It's just that many of us don't know how to access it. And many of us don't have the confidence, trust, or faith in ourselves and the universe to access it. Do it just for a few minutes and see what happens. You might discover some resistance, denial, or perhaps the realization that this amazing fact is already within you. Now, it's good to know that each block you encounter in this life is your greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of your most enlightened self. Every experience we have as human beings contains a doorway to this divine state. All that's needed is to look for the door, reach out for the golden handle, and walk on through. Now, a lot of people will look at the handle, but they won't touch it, because there's a deep fear of the unknown. What's behind the door? What's going to happen? What am I going to see? What am I going to experience? There is nothing as easy and fulfilling as entering this magnificent paradise that is within our very being. It's easiest to discover this warm, fuzzy feeling inside when we are alone, in nature, quiet, looking within ourselves for many hours. To arrive at this place means letting go of the hectic outer world. Put away the busy, overly productive to-do list and devote to spend some solid quality time with you. Whatever's stopping you from making time for yourself is blocking you from experiencing the most tremendous freedom, love, and joy. So my invitation for you is that you let go of your life. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean you're quitting. You're just letting it go. Emotionally, mentally, and intentionally loosen your grip and relax into your true self. This is where we will find this powerful, beautiful, and extraordinary high vibrational being. Isn't it amazing that we have such a high vibration, the God within us? It is unmatched. All of us. It's unmatched. Nothing can compare to it. Now, obviously, except another God within the body. Now, for a lot of people, letting go is not easy at first. Especially, many of us aren't even aware of it because we're so used to it. We're used to spending our lives living like just clenched fist, or gripping onto something so tight that your fingers start to get numb. Just you practice loosening the grip on you. And try it for at least 1 hour every day. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. And the fact is that you are worth it. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I know a lot of people who won't look at themselves in the mirror because the ego mind begins to start ridiculing them left and right. So they just don't look in the mirror. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what you see is seeing you. How can you not see yourself unless something else is seeing you? Obviously, we all take that for granted. It's just a reflection, right? We're seeing us. The eyes are seeing you. And what's behind the eyes? Maybe not always clearly, yet we can only see aspects of ourselves. Our entire self is too huge, too amazing and magnificent to digest in just one sitting. It's like you can look back at your day and remember most of what happened, yet try and look back on your entire life and even past lifetimes and digest everything in the same detailed manner. You see, we're much bigger than the mind can conceive. Can't conceive it. We're just too immense. When you come to the edge of all the light you know and are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith, trust, and confidence is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. Most of us have been conditioned and programmed over and over again, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And we've mostly been conditioned to feel what? Well, feel guilty if we believe that we are magnificently powerful beings, right? You start feeling a fraction of just how amazing you truly are. It's like it really is a self-initiated reprogramming, because you begin with letting go of any limiting beliefs that arise about yourself. We all have them. If you think you're too nice, too old, too fat, too ugly, too poor, these are just old boring stories and excuses. In truth, there's just little tiny electrons passing through the brain, making you believe you're in some prison. You realize these are all just thoughts passing through your consciousness. That's all they are. They're just thoughts. They have no power unless you give it to them. You can choose to pay attention to the thoughts, the good ones or the bad ones. It's totally up to you. That's why we talk about when your ego mind starts dictating how you're going to live your life. And that's what it does. Why do you believe there's so many, or believe that there's so many people that are so insecure, wishy-washy, waffling, fearful, stressed, irritable? It's because the ego mind has mastered them and guides them through this life. And there's tons of immovable proof for that. Now, we can easily break free from any negative or limiting beliefs running around in our minds by surrendering to loving you. Trust in the feeling of love. Believe that love is the way. Notice how it feels to be a bit more gentle and kind with yourself. What does it feel like to accept all your parts? Real love is deeply and eternal. It has no reason why it loves. It just constantly sends out gentle energy, working its magic and healing all parts of you every time. There is nothing more powerful and transformational than love, deep eternal love. And we're all existing in these bodies to discover all there is love. Now, when we're in these bodies, we're exposed to many different things. Many. And a lot of us, it isn't that difficult to refer to the God that you are within the body. You know, well, what should we do here, God, or pure consciousness, whatever you want to call it? You'll get an answer every single time. It's a bit more of a feeling in the heart-mind. And I emphasize, since we have so many new people come on this call every week, is that when you devote your day to loving you, being gentle with you, something very magical occurs. You start to feel the love that is already inside you now. It doesn't come from outside. It's in you now. Always has been, always will be. Deep inside your soul is the infinite source of love. The energy of God, source, absolute consciousness. Whatever name you place on it, the energy is the same. It is creating your experience of reality in every millisecond of your life. And it is the most benevolent, brilliant, and loving source there ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Great quote from Amadeus Mozart. Never a lofty degree of intelligence, nor imagination, nor both together go to the making of genius. Love, love, love. That is the soul of genius. Now, we're all on this planet, and we're all together, whether we know it or not, and we're all on this sacred spiritual journey together. This life is for our enjoyment, transformation, spiritual growth, and eventually our enlightenment. We cover those subjects all the time. We are here to enlighten the load from our past, let go of all the heaviness we've been carrying for lifetimes. People carry, not just this lifetime. I've met and talked with people that have carried stuff for several lifetimes, and the lifetime they are currently existing in. Whatever has been burdening, blocking, or frustrating to us, it isn't real. The very instant we clearly see what is real, then everything changes immediately. There is this great relief inside as we no longer have to fight or resist anything in life anymore. The war is over. You want to know the true war of all wars is the war that we have with ourselves. We can see the truth and accept that which we believed was totally unacceptable about ourselves. It is then that our greatest joy and freedom begins to settle in. How many times have you heard people say, or read it or whatever, that, they've made a wrong turn in life, they've really screwed up their life, what a mess. But the truth to it is, there's nothing we can do to make a wrong turn in this life. Period. Or any life. Everything is part of our destiny. On an infinite highway where everything is connected, all lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination. There is no way at all that we can mess up our life. Now, of course, ego mind has something else to say about that, right? It is perfectly imperfect just as it is. It contains all the bittersweet and sour elements needed to release our tight grip inside ourselves. Relax deeply. Find out that we are powerful, beautiful, and truly extraordinary. A lot of us, if not all of us, at one time, shape, form, or another, on those days when we feel that we've made a wrong turn in our life, where we got in trouble for not yielding to the other, where we had an unconscious moment and smashed into someone we loved, it may feel like everything is lost. And it's a choice, see. If any of you have ever been in that situation, most people run from it. They don't care to ever be in that situation. But it does happen, where you are left just with yourself and nothing, right? And you're sitting in an empty room, and you're leaving because you're going to be evicted, so you leave anyway. You got nothing. You've got your clothes. Pretty much it. And if you're lucky, you've got a vehicle. If you're really lucky, you've got transportation. You imagine sitting there in this empty room where you had lived. Good times, not so good times. And everything's gone. Everything you worked for is gone. Everything's just completely gone. Now you have a choice. It's easy to fall into the dumps at that moment. It really is. And most people do. The challenge is to shift into the opposite direction of how you feel. It's a freeing. When you're not focused on things that are, to you, horrible and really gut-wrenching and pulling and tearing, and you let it all go. And you know immediately that you're the God in the body and you're a supreme immortal being that never dies. It changes everything. It really does. But it's to be able to do that with conviction through the heart-mind, not the ego-mind. Maybe you were driving with one foot on the brake and the other foot on the gas, and mainly looking backwards in the rearview mirror. Secret here is forgiveness. Let go of whatever mistakes you've made in your life, because the mistakes are simply conjurings of the ego mind. They're just experiences. They are last year's movie. You should observe the judgments of these movies about yourself. And this is the kicker, without participating in that judgment. You welcome the experience of whatever your great error was and accept that it was a lesson teaching you something deeper about yourself and life. The judgments, remember, come from the ego mind, not the heart mind. So by welcoming whatever judgments are showing up about yourself, the judgmentaholic inside gets to step down from its pedestal, and a hint of clarity somehow naturally finds its way in. A glimmer of lightness finds its way into the deepest, darkest night of the soul. And when we fully experience judgment for whatever it has to say, without holding on to any story about it, this universe has to present itself to you with full clarity. So for the next few days, do not resist any experiences that life gives you. Welcome all the good, bad you see inside you. Yet give some extra special attention to that part of you that is powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, deep, eternal love. Now, any resistance is futile and just makes you contract from life and get even more emotionally knotted up inside. If you must resist an experience in this life, be conscious about it. Know that it is your choice. There is always another way to experience who you are. Try it for maybe a week, and you will experience a relaxing feeling, freeing feeling. We'll move on in. Just trust the process. Let go and surrender to what is deeper and already at peace on the inside. And as Bodhidharma, quote, great quote, there is no beginning or ending in the journeyless journey to nowhere. You do not start from somewhere, and you do not end at anywhere. You are where you are, and you continue from there. We all, everything is created by some form of energy. Everything. And as Albert Einstein made the quote, everything is energy and that's all there is to it. Match that frequency of that reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. Let's just say the workable physics. Now, our minds can only comprehend it, even though the mind is an illusion, quite frankly, and the mind creates the ego to assist it. It is also an illusion. They're not real. This universe we live in is more intelligent than the mind can even come close to comprehending. There are many hidden dimensions to everything and everyone within it. We truly exist in the most fascinating, multidimensional, and infinitely mysterious field of conscious, intelligent energy. What do you think the God is? Conscious, intelligent energy. Pure consciousness. This divine harmonic matrix is vibrating with life all around us. It is inside of us. It is constantly connecting with our every breath, thought, emotion, and heartbeat. It's never ending. It is infinite. Just look all around you. Everything is constantly exploding, really in an orgasm of wild, unabandoned creativity. On this planet alone, millions of flowers are blossoming somewhere, giving birth to the most amazing sights and scents. Amazing sacred geometric crystals right beneath our feet are forming perfect patterns. While millions of animals, birds, insects, and humans are having intercourse in the most interesting positions. This is just a tiny tip of the iceberg as to all the wild, mysterious, and beautiful things happening on this planet right now. Now, if and when you observe nature long enough, you will see everything is always changing, including you. They say that it is said that we cannot step into the same river twice. We can't. You can't go back. Have you ever tried going back? You know, let's say you could be years later. You say, oh, I'm going to go back there and see how things, see how things have been or whatever. Or you might have been in a relationship, and then so long down the road, you somehow connect with that former relationship, and you say, oh, I might try a run with this, and you find out, wow, not the same as it was, nowhere near it. You can't go back. You can, but it's not the same. It's already changed. And the benefit of that for all of us is that we create this illusionary outside world for us to experience. That's the bottom line. We create it so we can experience it. We were not created to do no creation, no nothing, and just be slugs in a pool of mud. That's just... So everything, including ourselves, is already completely different. This means we cannot have an exact same sequence of thought patterns and feelings that we had last month or last year. Our mind and emotional intelligence is continuously growing, evolving, and changing. We were born highly intelligent beings who were meant to outgrow the small trousers we once wore in the second grade, and we wouldn't try to put them on again years later. Now, if you were to take a high-powered microscope, right, look into the DNA inside every cell in your body, you would see that they all contain a sacred imprint that is unique to you. That's why I use the example of snowflakes. There's never one snowflake exactly alike the other, ever. There's been research and research and research. You are not like anyone else, physical body, on this planet. You are unique to you. Your DNA imprints this. It's only unique to you. Not to Bill, to Mary, to Jane, but to you. Theirs is unique to them. In each quantum particle, your DNA is this wild and uncharted, magnificent, intelligent mystery within it. And this mysterious intelligence is embedded within the foundation of your blood, bones, and brain. You cannot escape from it, no matter how hard you try. What's interesting is that the mind tends to take for granted this sacred mystery every day. The mind has this tendency to create habits, fall into these little comfort zones of thought, safe emotional thought patterns. It finds ideas which label life, placing ourselves and others into tiny compartmentalized little thought boxes so we can feel more secure, self-assured, somewhat organized, standing in the face of this wild, uncharted, infinite mystery that's surrounding us in all directions. The moment we put anything in this divine existence into a thought box, and that's what most of us do, we forget all about enjoying a state of devotion and worship to the divine mystery. The instant we forget about the great mystery of this life, of any life, of life in general, we initiate the suffering process. Every experience of this life thereafter becomes a challenge, as we live from the head and not from the heart. The mind is a master at continuously getting lost and believing all its inner thought structures are real. They're not. When our intellect holds tight onto fixed beliefs, it thinks life will feel more manageable, giving the illusion of control and the sensation that we are becoming wiser. Yet, this hard-coded know-it-all mindset demolishes our childlike curiosity and abolishes any form of reverence for this deeply sacred divine mystery. Albert Einstein again quotes, "Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity." One of the greatest mysteries you may ever discover in this life is the human psyche. We've heard that mentioned a lot, right? What is it? What is the human psyche? It is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we've adopted and inherited as our own. That's the human psyche. It is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we have adopted and inherited as our own. All these beliefs form the entire experience of ourselves, other people, this world, our entire reality. The way we think, how we think, why we think this way and not that way is the core network of our psyche and makes us behave more like predictable machines than alive cosmic organisms. Now, the human psyche, however, has a magical side to it, in that whatever we accept as the truth becomes what we actually manifest physically into our lives. Now, this may be one of the most awesome mysteries mankind has to explore. Our foundational belief structure is so powerful, pervasive, and penetrating that it always manifests itself in every single possible outcome and experience we have. Now, our best friend, our best buddy, forever, beyond, and always, this universe always supports whatever we believe. If deep down you believe you are not a lovable person, then this universe will constantly manifest for you the most challenging people, negative situations, and experiences that support this belief inside. If you truly believe you are lovable, this universe will slather your life with sweet, loving beings, devoted to caring about you, honoring you, caring for your needs in the most intimate, vulnerable ways. This intelligent, universal energy simply flows. It follows thought. Whatever you believe about you is where the energy flows and manifests into the entire show all around you. Now, we all know that we're in a super high technological age. People these days tend to believe science easier than religion, right? Even though we know religion is man-made. Now, if you can prove God is real in a lab, then it must be true, right? What's fascinating about this time frame in our lives is that the quantum physicists of this world have ventured so deep into particles, as I've stated before, that they have had to merge their scientific understanding with a spiritual context. They don't have the answers. Say, science ends. Their practical Newtonian vocabulary doesn't have the words to explain the outrageous results they're finding. They're having to use more spiritual words and concepts to bridge the understanding of these hard-coded scientific results. You know what science is all about? Guessing. It's about guessing. And you guess and you guess and you guess, and on occasion, you support the guess as being what? The truth. Everything, all things have their own form of communication. And it doesn't matter what the distance is at all. See, we don't realize, because of the conditioning, and we could reprogram ourselves, all of us, it's just a choice. Wherever we look, wherever we focus our attention, it could be empty, void of space. We are going to create particles. Now, when we look away, those particles disappear. Proven fact. Okay? All of us. Now, we've been in the 21st century for a while now. And the understanding that we are the manifesting magicians of the quantum soup of highly intelligent energy all around us become an actual science in quantum physics and the spiritually enlightened communities. The relationship between the mystic and the scientist actually was separated over 500 years ago. That's interesting. The pendulum swinging back towards their reunification again. Same with astronomy and astrology. One time they were one. They're coming back together again. It is our inherent curious nature in this civilization to want to put labels on things, people, ourselves. Create a universal law of attraction that will solve this great manifesting mystery of life. We think that if we have a more concrete global understanding of life, then we can relax and rest even deeper into our spiritual nature. Perhaps only a fool would believe that we need something external to let go and relax internally. Why would we need to feel inferior to being one with Mother Nature, just so as to push away our insecurity and strive towards a need to feel superior? The human psyche, as I mentioned, is the greatest mystery of them all. Now, as Ramana Rishi quoted, all that we have to do is to give up identifying with the body, with forms and limits, and then we shall know ourselves as the infinite self that we always are. And the funny thing is that even the chance, right, When science creates a machine to find the source of consciousness, that mankind will feel like a god. Yet, why take the long road? Why not just look inside your source of consciousness itself and discover real evidence of where consciousness comes from? Realize what consciousness is made of and why it exists, and relax into the greatest, innermost mystery of them all. I had the feeling that in order for our world to solve these deep, outrageous questions in the future, quantum physicists must merge completely with the metaphysical mindset. And meta means beyond, all right? Beyond physical mindset. If science is to take any real progress, make any real progress, and I'm guessing by now you're more interested in how your life can personally benefit from applying this enlightening path of understanding the great mystery. And there's a lot of people want to know how to the understanding, the metaphysical manifesting mystery, how it can make your life easier, more abundant, healthy, loving, happy, and financially free. And in order for us to have access to manifesting anything and everything we desire in our lives, we must choose to first start with believing in one basic foundational understanding. Whatever we continuously focus our attention on grows, multiplies, and manifests automatically in our lives with the help of this natural, powerful, magnetic, manifesting intelligence that's inside everything. Isn't it? It is ironic, though, for all of us. With all this amazing manifesting power already inside us, it's quite ironic that more people are not accessing it. Most of us are stuck at jobs we don't like, relationships that we lose energy battling with every day, and we're either having some sort of food, drug, alcohol, or sex addiction that is taking priority over any real deep spiritual devotion and exploration. The basic reason for all human suffering here is simple. The mind keeps focusing on what we don't want, and thus keeps manifesting more of the same. New thoughts rarely have space to form. And after about 70, 80 years, the human being has wasted all its precious energy on magnetizing on what it doesn't want and doesn't have. And the only reason we are not always manifesting everything that we want is because we cannot keep our mind focused long enough on feeling that we are receiving that one thing that we truly desire to have. It's that simple. We don't focus long enough. Once we retrain the brain to stay focused, fiercely, deeply, and resolutely focused, we will become the manifesting masters of our world. When we practice meditation, we will one day attain mastery over our minds and actually reach a state of physical mastery over our physical world. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Be still. At the center of your being, there is an endless source of peace. It is beneath the fear, underneath the sorrow, and behind the demanding, defensive, and impatient ego. When you emotionally drop deep down through all of these layers, you arrive in a space that feels like infinity. It literally feels like timelessness and infinite space in every dimension. Here, you will find an eternal happiness that you cannot mistake for anything else. Believe it or not, this is your real nature. Your pure, sweet spiritual essence is infinitely bubbling with happiness, celebrating being alive, deeply thankful for this time. The more often you can relax through these egoic layers and allow this healing happiness to shine through, the more often you'll feel the whole universe is smiling upon you. This delight for life can be immense, so prepare for it now by letting go of everything heavy inside you. It's good to know the great river of joy is always flowing. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here tonight, Wednesday, February 14th, 2024, around 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Time for Change call. We will have a special guest, the inventor of the Inception. We will field questions that anybody may have for him on that call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. And we'll be here Thursday, February 15th, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. No matter what's happening within you or outside of you, stay in deep gratitude.